everyone, and welcome to a race highlight video. We've not had one of these in a while. This is the Manufacturer series, of course, in the exhibition season. So during the exhibition season, we're literally going to just turn up on the night, play and have a bit of fun. Now, we're actually in split 2 because we've been doing a few dailies. The hours dropped a little bit because we've been starting at the back and working our way forward. So we're right at the top of the split 2 with the #1 driver in split 2. So yeah, kind of different. We're racing new people. Let's find out what happens. So you can see this is going to be our fast lap, our quali lap, and it's at the very start of the session. So you can see Aura in front of us here. Now Aura had absolutely nailed this in the combos, highest TT in the time trial, and I knew being behind Aura was actually beneficial to me here. Bit slipstream, happy days, and Aura was getting slipstream as well. Double slipstream on Tokyo, superb. So we bolted out of that corner. We stayed with Aura throughout this lap, but the critical part of this lap is actually the chicane as we continue down this straight. Now this race is going to be a bit fuel savey in a little bit of places for us. In other cars we'll have to fuel save a lot more. There's a choice between a non-stop and a one-stop. The only tyre you had to use was the hard tyre, although the medium tyres were available, and you can see that down in the bottom left. We have racing medium on the front. You actually can go for racing hard on the rear because we want the rear to step out a little bit, try and get that rotation in the car with it being front wheel drive. So you come into the chicane here, look how good Aura nails the chicane, absolutely dominates it, and you can see that gap just extending here. This is temps. Aura is gaining on me here, and round the last corner we go, and Aura is going to get into that P1 position, of course. But let's see where we end up on this, and end up P2 at 38.9, which is not too bad. That was actually our fastest lap of the night as well that we'd done. As I say, we just turn up at the time and we just play. So who is in here? Aura gets that P1 position, 38.1, very fast time. That would have actually been P1 in the top split at this specific time. See a couple of SLSs there, and then we actually started P4. Not bad for turning up on the night. As I say, we've got an Aston Martin in P5. We have JL in P6, followed by Dofra in P7. P8 for Rambazamba. Lovely name. 11 miles out there in P9. P10 for Will. Will will feature in a few of these videos, actually. I think he's in the next one as well. We've got Snake in there. Now, we all know Snake, of course. We have Igor Sim Racer. We have Ria's Bit, followed by X Marcus 22 in the Porsche there. We have Chewy in the McLaren. Brave choice by Chewy. And we've got Kayu Kodo Sentai. And then another Audi TT of Gurn Knudley. Very much an Audi driver. We've seen that quite a lot. We've got Adam there. We've got the Wi-Fi code. Shout out to Wi-Fi code. And Cox backing up, or being at the back of the pack in the Lamborghini. Now, of course, I stream these races. You may notice that in the left-hand side we've got the face cam and all the good stuff there. Now these are all on Twitch, so you know, if you want to go check out Twitch, it's in the description. We stream on there, much better quality. You guys have much better experience. Just in general, as a streaming platform, it's amazing. YouTube is just going to be for videos in the future. But let's talk about this race now. 17 laps, so of course it's an odd number. The pits are also in the middle of the circuit, so it's kind of tricky. I suppose 8.5 would be perfect. It's halfway in the track. But let's find out what happens. We're going to struggle with tyre wear later on in the race, of course. But in the early parts of this, we are going to be very quick. We saw that, you know, Aura getting P1. We know the Audi TT is fairly rapid here. You know, lots of sweeping corners. The Audi TT has a lot of downforce. Looking for the move down the inside here at the hairpin. Not going to quite work out here. As Samuel also looking for the move on Marvel. Some good side-by-side action there. All of that. A little bit of rubbing there, but nothing major. Just controlling the car on the exit, these two. Now I've got to pick a car here to follow. I've got a choice of Samuel or Marvel. Now, I make the decision here to follow Marvel in the end, because Marvel's on the inside. It's the left-hander coming up. Give a little bit of bumper draft, and then hopefully we can get a bit of an opportunity here to get past Samuel. Of course, as I say, in the early stages, I'm trying to make as much positions as I can, and then later on, I'll try and work with drivers to, you know, maintain that position. And it's beneficial to both parties in this instance. We don't want to lose Aura, but we can see Samuel and me fighting side by side here. Samuel doesn't want to lose position as well, knowing about the tyre wear. Lovely little bit of defensive driving here by Samuel. Just gives me enough room there. Absolutely superb driving. Gets that position, so we've got to fall in behind. And we've just got to brake for the chicane and hope that we survive it, as we do right there. Now, if you look in the TV camera just briefly, you're actually going to see some side-by-side action on this last corner. And a little bit of contact there with the barrier. With the Aston, you can see contact there now. We look behind. Right, that's just going to give us such a good advantage, because if we can drop the guys behind, we can just focus on ahead. We don't have to worry then. We can control our tyres and such as we jump to the TV camera. I love the TV camera, honestly. It's amazing. It's one thing Gran Turismo gets so right, is that it's just visually so good to watch. You can see me coming through this first sector here. Lots of different cars as well. This is why I love the Manufacturer series. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. As we're now going to head down the hill towards the hairpin. And we're just going to stay behind the SLSs. Just a little bit of footage for you here. Just get a brief look at that. Look behind. Look at all those cars. It's so good, Manufacturer series, honestly. It's my favourite championship by far. I know a few people have asked about the nations. We will do some nations at some point. But yeah, Manufacturers at the moment. You can see, look at that line of cars there. The old train going. We're going to just jump back in towards the car now because it's about time we get racing again. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a run on Samuel here. And we're just looking to see where we can make the move. Marvel's to the right here, so I tried to grab hold of that slipstream. Then Samuel gets a little bit. Then Marvel's going to give me a little bit here as well. And then he's just going to go and take the normal racing line. So that's a normal racing line side by side here with Samuel. We're on the inside this time, so we're going to try and keep this position. Now Samuel tries to go for the large late braking, runs a bit wide here. We're side by side, and this is where smart driving comes into play here. 2 into 1 does not go in the chicane. Samuel decides that I'm the inside car. I'll let Tidgney have it in this instance, and we continue racing. Good smart driving there by Samuel. Shout out for that. Superb racing, superb driving. We don't lose much time at all. Marvel is still in front of us, although Aura has broken that slipstream, which is to be expected. I'd say the Audi TT is a fast car here. We actually get the fastest lap there. Kind of nice. As we now approach Marvel. And as I said at the start, it's nice for the TT to get ahead early. Faster car in the early instances. And then later on, obviously, the SLS is just going to come back with the tyre wear. Front wheel drive, tyre wear does not go. Although we have seen in recent World Tours that tyre wear being reduced. Including the Laguna race in Group 4, where we actually could race in the TT, which was kind of nice. So I hope they do bring that more in towards the FIA as well. For a move down the inside of Marvel now at the hairpin. I love this hairpin for moves, it's brilliant. And round we go. Are we going to get that done? We are indeed, look at that. So obviously with the TT, if you don't know this about the car, 3rd to 5th gear, the TT is one of the best cars in the category. Group 4 category. When you hit 6th gear in the TT, that's when it becomes an issue. So the higher end speeds, because of the high downforce. It's very much a high downforce car, which is why it suits very, very fast sweeping curves. When you hit that point, there's just no top end there, and this is where cars start gaining. Of course, Marvel's going to have a little bit of slipstream there as well. We defend on the right hand side. Marvel's trying to go around the outside. Very hard to do. You need that grip advantage to get that done. Unfortunately, it doesn't in this situation, so we managed to keep that position. Potentially was thinking about the move here into the chicane. Not wise, and Marvel doesn't go for it in the end either. So, you know, smart decision, because you can lose so much time there. And Marvel's racing Samuel as well behind. It's a 3-way fight at this moment in time. We're 2.2 seconds behind Aura at this moment. So we do have a lot of work to do. Although, key to all of this, we have broke the gap to that P5 position. So it's us 3 at the moment. Looking ahead, and Marvel looking to try and get the move done. I went defensively, stayed in the middle of the circuit there, keep that position. Obviously, we're very fast through this section. It's only later on where we struggle a little bit because of the tyre wear, but through here we are very, very fast indeed as we took it into the left. You're probably wondering why I'm not revving the car in some situations. I mentioned earlier it's a bit of a fuel race, but also to protect the tyres, you want to short shift a little bit, stop the wheel spin on the fronts, reduce that tyre wear a little bit. All very worthwhile. As you see, we outbrake ourselves completely here, but it gives us a really nice sort of point and squirt out of this corner. And look at the gap here to Marvel, just absolutely accelerate up here. 5 tenths, it's going to go to 6 tenths. So you can see very quickly that point and squirt seemed to work there. But it's very hard to do, and obviously you're still going to get a lot of tyre wear. We're going to jump a lap later now because Marvel doesn't catch me on that straight. However, Marvel is starting to catch up very quickly now. You can see that tyre wear having a big impact here. Bottom left hand side, look at the front left. My word, it's been absolutely nuked. Of course, it's a clockwise circuit, so that's what we expect. And we're just going to let Marvel go at this point because I know that Marvel potentially can get us forward towards Aura, because Aura's in the TT. It's going to have the same experience as me. Marvel, with the help of the slipstream, should push me towards Aura as well. As we head down towards the chicane, look how close we are. No banging through the chicane. Happy days. Although Marvel gets a little bit sideways there. And we continue out of there into the right and onto the start finish straight. Start lap number 6. But what we are going to do in a second is actually advance a little bit further forward. Just to show you that gap go from 2.8 seconds down to 1.6. So you can see our strategy has worked here nicely. Marvel's pulled us along beautifully. Samuel's been trying to get past the entire time. However, because I've got the slipstream in there, and I'd say 3rd to 5th gear in the TT is very good. It's much better than the SLS in that situation. We can actually keep that position. And once we get 6th gear with a bit of slipstream, the car is actually fine. So you can see heading downhill now towards the hairpin, and you can see I'm losing time to Marvel now just because he's got the slipstream of Aura. But Aura decides to go in the pits at 8.5, which is bang on. I think here, nah, carry on another lap here. Very well worthwhile to, you know, get that extra lap. We've got hybrid tyres. We're just going to use mediums again. Hybrid tyres currently work. Actually, I'll talk about something in a second with hybrid tyres. But we can use the slipstream here. You can see it's coming down already. It was 9 tenths. We're now in the 7 tenths sort of area. That's going to drop down to 6 tenths. You can see we're pulling away from Samuel here. So all this is sort of extra time for us. And it also means that the tyres on the second sort of part of the race where we've got new tyres, they're not going to get worn as much. We should be able to race a little bit more. And that should hopefully stop some of the non-stoppers. Now, as I say, some people are doing non-stop. I said this earlier on. We can't really do that in the TT anyway, but maybe if we put hard tyres on and just try and really look after them, we could survive. But exhibition season, let's have fun. Let's have some racing. This is what it's all about in this exhibition season. Not playing countless hours a day, just turn up on the evening, have a bit of fun, have a good race with whoever I'm racing with at the time, and just enjoy Gran Turismo, because the official season can be draining. And that's the reason why I take a little bit of a break from it. Even so, you can see it's down to 6 tenths here, but we are going to struggle once again in this high-speed section now because the tyres are dead. Look at that, we've got half a tyre left on the front left. It is destroyed. And you can see our fuel actually is around half, so at the moment we are currently surviving as we chuck it into the left-hander now. And you see we clip the barrier here, so at this point I know it slows Samuel down a little bit, so apologies to Samuel there. We're going to come in towards the braking zone. And we're going to hit the brakes, absolutely miss this completely, and Samuel's going to get a good run on us here as well. So we go side by side. I've got to stay to the left here, give enough room. Samuel's just ahead of us here. You can see our fuel, a lot less than Samuel's. We leave the pits now, and you see Aura up ahead. So Aura's had a bit of a jump here, but here's where the critical little bit of thinking goes, because we can see 2 cars pass us. I instantly try and jump in that slipstream. I need to try and get past Samuel as fast as possible. If you remember earlier on, I said the start of a stint, the TT is the faster car compared to the SLS. So if I can get by a couple of people, put a few cars in between me and Samuel, I can potentially break away until later on. Of course, we need to try and catch some of the non-stoppers. Some of the guys in front obviously going for the extra long stint or doing the non-stop. So we come towards this right-hander now. Chewy and Marcus side by side. A little bit of contact there maybe, I'm not too sure. But Marcus skims the barrier, so Chewy's going to have a bit of run. I decide I've got the run here as well. I can have this corner. And you can see Marcus sort of gives that up a little bit. I think potentially could have fallen in behind. Doesn't, so Samuel gets that position as well. And come around this last corner now. We need to get past Chewy as fast as possible. And Chewy's smart enough here to know that it's not really a huge fight to have. You got 2 guys on really fresh tyres here, and there's a lot of the race to go. Chewy's racing Marcus. He's not racing me and Samuel. So let's be by there. Thanks very much, Chewy. And we chuck it in. So just talk about the hybrid tyres briefly. At Monaco, obviously we had the Group 4 race. You can't select hybrid tyres. So what happens is once you select tyres, maybe on the rears or the front, all the others then become invalid and you have to select the same compound. Is that coming to the game? I don't know. But even so, just to give you a bit of info there, that is what is currently in the game that was at Monaco at the time. Now Marvel's come in, did have hard tyres on, has now just jumped to medium tyres. I'm not sure whether there was any hybrid tyres going on there, but that would explain why he had such strong pace at the end of the stint as well. So, are we going to get into Marvel's slipstream? You can see it's dropped down to 1.6, 1.5. Boom, we're in it. What lovely stuff here. It allows us to try and catch up to Marvel, which we do. And this is the next lap on now. We actually also caught up to Kayukodo Sentai and Aura as well in front. So Aura's really struggling with the tyres now. And this is good stuff for us because we know we've got fresher tyres than Aura. We should be able to overtake Aura. And you see Marvel going for the move here on Sentai. Down the inside. Lovely move here. Sentai pulls in behind as well. Lovely bit of driving there. Get in behind. Make sure you don't lose more than one position. Into the chicane we're going to go here. And you can see how close everybody is. And look, no contact. Superb racing by everybody here. Samuel's just behind as well. And into the last corner we go. So, what kind of moves can we do now? So we're 6.1 seconds behind the leaders at the moment. So obviously that's not a lot of time not a lot of time to gain in the grand scheme of it, because they're going to be on much older tyres. You can see we go round the outside of Sentai there. I'm not sure whether Sentai actually gave that up a little bit. You can see Marvel and Aura go side by side into here. Aura just clips the barrier here. Now just watch this. So we try and go around the outside. Aura just clips the wall here, and he bounces into that wall, which then obviously Sentai hits us, and Aura gets a 3-second penalty. Now I felt so bad for Aura here. That's not a 3-second penalty Aura deserved there. Literally the tiniest mistake, which meant the bounce off, because Gran Turismo has very bouncy physics. The bounce off just then forced me into the barrier. It's just a racing incident at the end of the day. Unfortunately, Aura got the brunt of it, and I did feel for Aura in that situation. It also cost us a little bit of time with Marvel as well. It is what it is. Like, as I say, I felt sorry for Aura, and you'll see some at the end, which I've got to give a shout out for Aura for later on, you'll see. But luckily, we get a bit lucky here. Rubinho's had a penalty, so we get a little bit of slipstream here, which allows us to get that little bit more boost of speed, which allows us to try and catch up to Marvel a little bit. We're just out the slipstream, only just out of it, but let's see what we can do as we advance a little bit further on in the race, as we took it into the right-hander here. Through we go, and watch Samuel through the chicane. Samuel is absolutely mega through here, by the way. Watch the radar here. Look how much Samuel can gain through there. Now, we were taking it very easy. We didn't want a penalty at the end of the day. Samuel obviously had learnt it a lot more. The TT flies. We saw that in the live stream. Basically, it just takes off. So you've just got to be careful, which is why I was taking it so easy. Samuel right on my trumpet now, and this is obviously where Samuel's going to have much more of an advantage than me, and I've got no slipstream to defend from this. So I actually let off here to try and let him go. He actually slows down a bit too much here, but I give him room on the outside, let him go. Can Samuel now literally get me to Marvel and potentially also the top 3, which is Dofra, Will, and 11 miles out. 11 miles out obviously in the Ferrari, Will in the Honda, and Dofra in the Nissan GTR. Can he do that? Because that's all we need. We need to just be able to get there. We're 6.5 seconds down at the moment, obviously due to the incident and stuff. We've got a lot of work to do here to try and catch up, especially with the amount of laps that are remaining. So through there we go. We're going to have a bit more slipstream here, which is all very nice for us. Slipstream at this point where our tyres start wearing in, it's just extra time that we would not have had otherwise. You can see our laps as well on fuel. We're running a little bit tight, so you will see our short shift there just to try and manage fuel a little bit. Because we're in slipstream, it doesn't matter short shift into 6th. It's still going to carry us through, as you can see there. Down to 4.5 tenths now. And through there we go. Now, Snake is the next pit stopper behind, who is behind Sentai at this point. But quite a way behind Sentai. See all that we've gained there on Samuel in the slipstream. Of course, we're just trying to save tyres and fuel here at this moment in time, as we're going to head towards the chicane once again. So we're down to 6 seconds now behind the leader, which is where we want to get to. At the end of the day, we're here to win a race, but also have fun, as I keep saying. So round we go, and you see Sentai's just got a penalty, unlucky for Sentai. I'm assuming that was cutting the chicane somewhere. As we cross the line now, we're actually going to advance towards the last lap. Where are we up to in terms of race pace? So we're at 4.8. We did lose Samuel's slipstream. It actually went to around 4 seconds, I think, from the leader. But tyre wear playing a significant part here. And look who's behind us now. Snake is 1.6 seconds essentially behind us. We have to try and survive this last lap. Look at our fuel as well. We're on borderline here. 0.8 laps when the majority of laps still remaining. A lot to do. And Samuel's also fighting with Doffer up ahead in that GTR. So can Snake catch us? This is the exciting part here. This is why it's called the Hunted, because we are now being hunted down by Snake. So let's see what we can do. So coming into the hairpin, of course, look at that gap start to shrink. 1.4 it was, now 1.3. We're hoping we can catch the slipstream here, but we're just outside of it. Very unlucky for us. We're also having to save fuel as well. 1.2, 1 second, 0.9 seconds. As we now look behind us for this entire time. I hope you like this little bit of an edit where I managed to still get the camera in as well. But we've got Snake really chasing us down now in that Aston Martin. Can we survive until the end? Remember, fuel is an issue. And tyres are an issue, and Snake is chasing us down in that slipstream. Look at him get closer and closer and closer in that Aston Martin. Look to the inside a little bit, into the braking zone we go. He's only a couple of tenths behind me now. Look at the run he gets through there. Look at the grip he's got versus myself. Here, looks at the chicane, doesn't quite do it. Into the chicane we go, and through we go.
Snake, what happened? Snake! Snake!
So, Snake unfortunately clips the barrier. It looks like I spin there as well, that little transition. He clips the barrier. You see my face, I'm pulling at the end there. I'm looking for Snake. It was a good bit of fun with Snake. And I'd say this is the exhibition season. In the official season, Snake would probably be absolutely going nuts. Like he actually clipped that. Exhibition season, it's all a bit of fun. Of course, before just when this race was happening, we're actually heading to Monaco a few weeks later. So, you know, Snake's in a good mood. I'm in a good mood, of course. At the end of the day, it was good, fun racing. I just want to give a shout out to Aura at the end here. So he said 6 is okay with the TT, which I was very happy with. I say I hate that you got that penalty. Samuel said I was top 10 material, so thanks very much for that, Samuel. Much appreciated. But just look what Aura puts. And this is what I want to say to you guys, right? The exhibition season is all about having fun. Don't take it too seriously. You've had the official season to go serious. This is all about fun. Now, when... you can see a little bit. It says aim with a smiley face. As it's gonna go up a little bit here. I'm just complimenting Aura on being so rapid here. Tidgney, it's just a game, but thanks. That's the kind of spirit I think you guys need to take away from this exhibition season. Have some fun, enjoy the game. The official season's been and gone now. This is all about having fun. Try new stuff out. Try race, clean, fair. Have fun. Try moves that you never experienced. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I say, I'm streaming on Twitch. I'll be streaming on Twitch tonight. Streams on Twitch will be starting at 8:30. Please tune in if you want to enjoy the live commentary in action. Otherwise, there'll be some more videos to come very soon. But that's it for me for now. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.